Hey everyone, Shaedow here, and welcome to another Marvel Contest of Champions video. So this is the final day of Trials of the Elementals, and this one is called Trial of the Alchemist. You can see the team that I'm going in here with. Now, this final day is different from all the other days. It's a culmination of all the other days. So you can see who I'm facing here, and I was hoping that I did not get a Dormammu or an Iceman, and I didn't, so I got very lucky. If you have a Dormammu or an Iceman, it can be a bad time for you. Now, at the time that I did this, the first node still had Masochism. Since then, Kabam has disabled Masochism on that first node, so it should be easier for you guys. All right, but what you're going to be dealing with here is a combination of all of the buffs that you had to deal with during the week. So I'm not going to go through each of them, but each of your opponents represents one day and the buffs for that day. And what you see me doing here, I'm going through all of the boosts that you get for completing each of the trials during the week. And the only time that you can use these buffs are right now on the final day, and I recommend that you use all of the buffs for this day unless you just want to have an extra challenge. I'm not really about that. I don't really like making things even more difficult for myself, even though sometimes I do that, but it's usually unintentional. I want things to be nice, smooth, and easy. So I boosted up with all of the boosts, and as you will see in the fights, they definitely help. They help a lot. All right, and you're going to see, it's going to be funny when we get up to it. I believe it's day 6, I think. It didn't go so well at all. The one with Mesmerize, yeah, that one didn't go at all well. All right, so this first node, as you see, has Masochism. Now, as I said, Kabam did remove Masochism from this node after I'd already completed it. Thank you, Kabam. But I'm dealing with a Sabretooth. Well, Sabretooth can be bled and poisoned. So Masochism doesn't really bother me because I have Archangel. So what you're going to see me doing here is a very straightforward parry, heavy attack. That's pretty much it. That unblockable doesn't matter if you're not getting hit. If you know how to evade, you're going to be okay. And as long as I can build up some neurotoxins, he is not going to be healing at all. And you can see here, the neurotoxins are stunning him, and I'm just putting more neurotoxins on him. And all I'm doing is heavy, parry, heavy, wash, rinse, and repeat. Very effective. Now, I am running suicides. That is why you saw that I did not fire off my special 1 or my special 2, but instead waited until I had a special 3. And right now, I'm just trying to bait out that special 1 just because I like to be safe. All right, and you can see here I put a nice little heavy, got some more bleeds on him, and then fired off my special 3. My special 3 has a stun component on it. So I didn't want him to have any power because I wanted to be able to hit him real good while he was stunned here. And so you can see here, he's just stunned, and I was able to get 2 heavies in, and the fight is over with. So not that bad if you have Archangel, or if you have somebody that can deal with his regen, or a regen, because Masochism was going to give them a regen. But you don't have to deal with it now because they disabled that. So that is a good thing for you guys, I guess. I don't know if they're going to bring it back or what. But next up, we've got Killmonger. And you can see the boost that I'm going to have to deal with this Killmonger. Now, I don't like Gambler's Fate. I really, really don't. Killmonger is a tough opponent at the best of times. So I'm going in here with Blade because Blade gets Danger Sense against Killmonger. So I'm like, okay, I can bleed him. He gets Danger Sense. Then Blade is a good option. Now you can see you have to worry about his power. Killmonger is you have to fight him patiently. You cannot just go all in. That reverberation is a royal pain. But look at the damage that my blade is doing to him. That is some vicious damage. And I got lucky with the debuffs as well. So he is taking a lot of damage thanks to the random debuffs. Now that Unstoppable had me groaning because I don't want to deal with the Unstoppable. He's bad enough as it is, but it didn't really bother much at all. And as you can see, he's almost down. And then this right here, I thought I was going to get wrecked. But I didn't. All he did was bait. He didn't attack me and get me back for that attack while he was unstoppable. So it's all good. All right, so far, things are going very well. I've gotten down 2 opponents without too much trouble. All right, so now we're dealing with these. And you guys remember these boosts. If you don't, take a look on my channel. I have every single day loaded up separately. And I go through each of the boosts as well. There's nothing new. Now, Luke Cage is a very easy opponent to fight. The nodes can make the fight a little bit more challenging, but you want to fight a little bit, a little slow when you're dealing with Luke Cage and you're fighting with Starkey. You know, you want to build up your poise charges, but at the same time, you don't want to let too many furies build up. So it can be a fine balance. So you see there, I'm able to build up a good amount of poise charges. And since I'm running suicides, I didn't fire off that special 3 just yet. All right. And we've had to deal with his indestructible twice now. All right. So he's getting that indestructible rather quickly. But I fired off my special 3 because why not? You know, it's an extra bit of damage there. He's ensnared, but it doesn't matter because he's not an evading champion, really. And all I'm doing is whittling him down. And I like Starkey here because he doesn't really need... Look at those crits. 6K, 10K, boom. And down he goes. That's why I like using Starkey in this situation. He doesn't really need to use a lot of specials to do a lot of damage. Especially if you can keep him above 50%. And all throughout these fights, those boosts that I took have been helping a ton. That's why my health, because there's one of the boosts that basically give you an arc overload. And that's why you see my health so robust, I guess you would say. All right, so next up, we've got Rogue. Rogue is not hard to fight. The tricky thing about Rogue is that she can shrug off debuffs rather quickly. So if you're not ready for that, you can get caught. All right, so what you want to do is either, you know, do quick combos, you know, like 3-hit combos and back off. Or if you parry her, make sure you go in very, very quickly. The other way, of course, is just to fight her stun immune and do a lot of intercepting and baiting out her heavies and her specials. Any of those work. All right, so you can see here, baiting out her specials, and she's not giving me any problems whatsoever. Okay. Now, again, I like to use Starkey because he doesn't really need his specials. You can see one of the boosts is draining my power. Go back and read it and you'll see which boost that is. But I didn't want to throw specials anyway because of the suicides, and I didn't want to take a lot of recoil damage. And Starkey doesn't really need it. So down goes Rogue. So far, this day is proving to be pretty straightforward and simple, at least with my champions. All right, so next up, we have got Black Panther Civil War. Now, you can see the connection issues that I've been having. It's gotten pretty bad since the update, and I did update, and it's making things a little bit fun. All right. Now, this guy here, he's got cornered, which I did not like to see. Resistor. The reason that I didn't like to see those nodes is when I'm fighting Black Panther Civil War, I usually have a very easy time fighting him with Archangel. It's a real easy, straightforward fight. You bait out his heavies or his specials and counter with Archangel's heavy. But because of cornered, I said, okay, I'm not going to be able to do that. So again, I went with my Spider-Man Stark Enhanced. And I'm still baiting out his specials. I'm taking a lot of block damage because I do not want to accidentally stun him like that. But I got lucky because he didn't have his armor ups. And look at my health. That is because of the boosts. So those boosts, very, very useful. All right, so here I go in again. And this time I decide to go ahead and fire off a special because the fight looked like it was taking a little bit long. And look at that, he took a good chunk out of me. All right, so I'm just like, at this point, I need to get this guy down. Okay, and so I'm firing off my specials, but look at my health again. When I saw that my health was going up, I remembered that I had those boosts. And so I said, let me just go ahead and start firing off these specials and let the boosts go ahead and do their thing. And I was able to get him down. And I finished the fight with a decent amount of health. So in this case, I threw caution to the wind and just went all in. Now, I told you guys this is going to be funny. Funny, sad. This is the fight that represents the day that was Archangel's day. Remember the Mesmerize. Archangel just rinsed every single champion that had these boosts. So I'm just like, okay, Archangel's about to take it to him. This is going to be a very easy fight. Okay, so first I didn't get the parry, and then I tried to attack, and he instantly mesmerized me. Look at this. And I'm like, okay, now I'm getting a degen. So I parry him, and I never got a chance to even scratch him. That was the saddest, funniest performance to date. That fight is not hard. You guys have seen what Archangel can do with that node. So it wasn't a problem, but I made a mistake. When I first missed the parry, or he didn't attack me right away so that I could get the parry, what I should have done at that point is just reset and wait and try to get a parry again. I should not have attacked. Now, it was just bad RNG that my very, very first attack resulted in a Mesmerize. Now, there was a time when Mesmerize first came into the game that it was bugged. I forget which it was, one of the earlier trials or the labs or something like that, that had Mesmerize. And I know it was bugged because it went through my entire team. As soon as I tried to attack one time, it was like 100% Mesmerize chance. So I would go in with one champion, attack, I got mesmerized, and he wrecked me. I went in with my second champion, attack, got mesmerized, wrecked me. And he did that for the entire team, and I finally revived and then was able to get him down because he did not mesmerize me on that first attack. So that kind of reminded me of that time. All right, so now we got him down. We didn't have any problem using a blade against him. Now, this guy here is new. This is Diablo. I don't know anything about Diablo. I don't know his animations. I don't know anything. So I'm going through his abilities here, and we'll also go through the nodes. Now, I'm going to admit something to you guys. I'm going through all of this to show you guys his information. That's a lot of information. I've got boost running. I did not bother reading any of that stuff. Okay, I skimmed it at the best. I went through the nodes, and I'm like, okay, I recognize these nodes. I remember those. Okay, should not be a problem. So I'm going in here, and I've decided to be pretty cautious because this is my first time fighting this guy. All right. So I decided to go in here with Blade because I saw that he's a villain. I know people were asking whether he was a villain. Yes, he is a villain. So you can see that Blade has danger sense thanks to my Ghost Rider synergy. And even though he is bleed immune, you can see that Blade is doing a good bit of damage to him. So I'm looking at this and I'm seeing unstoppables and I'm like, oh my goodness. And all this time I'm watching his animations. So I'm learning a little bit about him as I'm fighting. And you see that stun? That was the boost. I have a boost that basically gives me Mesmerize. So I have a chance to evade. That special seemed okay. I went in and was like, okay, I'm about to wreck him. And you see he got unstoppable right in the middle of it and just started punishing me. So at this point, I'm like, okay, I got to be a little bit more cautious. So I'm trying to heal up a little bit, but he's being a little aggressive. So I'm firing off my special too, but you can see I've got that regen going thanks to that boost. I'm telling you, those boosts help a lot. Definitely use them all. There's no reason not to unless you just want to make things harder or more challenging, as some would say. All right, so he's almost down here. And so I'm just like, okay, this is not too bad. You know, I'm like, I'm going to get this guy. You know, he's real easy. Boom, boom, boom. And down I went. Hubris. I went in there, too cocky, was not cautious enough. He had already done this to me once before. But when I saw that he had just a little bit of health left, I got too happy, too confident, and rushed in. Otherwise, that fight is not hard at all. All right, so you see there, he intercepted me, but that boost saved me, stunned him, and down he went. All right, so not hard. He is not a hard champion to fight at all. But that's going to do it, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this. I know Android users were having a problem. They're going to get compensation, I think, and they're going to get a special run at it at the end of it. All right? So click like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about this video. And you guys have a blessed day.